Well, hello everyone, and welcome back for another discussion. Today I thought I'd talk a little bit about something in the range of like kindness and love in the modern world. Um, it's something I see as distinctly lacking, and I don't. I, I guess the problem is I don't see how we go forward in society this divided. How do we start working together again? Like we're divided, and there's a lot of us that literally just will not engage like the other side. And even when we do, we won't do it in a way that's even remotely got a chance at being productive, right? Like, you're not gonna like, I don't know, people call me libtard or things like that all the time. Or I don't know, like it's, libs, like it's some kind of, I don't know, dirty marker, I guess. I don't know. Am I liberal? I don't know. I don't know. A lot of social issues that we would consider liberal. Yes, I'm probably for. I'm for kindness to people. I'm for loving people. I'm for being nice to each other. I'm for treating people with respect and dignity. And if those are progressive new ideas to you, what the hell? This is 2025. We have the means by which to look out there and see what's going on. And if we think name calling and we think rudeness is the answer to our problems are just going to get worse. We need to find a way to wrangle this in. And I think the answer to that is trying to find a way to restore love and kindness in the world. I don't like, I'm the kind of person, I kind of appreciate people with different views in my life. Now, with limits. Like if you're a nasty, mean name caller, I got no place for you. If you're an abusive person, if you're going to try to manipulate and control me, I got no place for you. I don't need to be mean to you. I'm not interested in spending time with you. And that's not a meanness thing. That's a self-protection thing. See, that's a self-love. There's another thing we need to talk about. When we talk about love, self-love matters. I'm not saying to go out and, I guess, cancel people or to break ties with people over minor shit that isn't that big of a deal. Like if somebody disagrees with you, like, so what? Like, can you get along otherwise? Do you enjoy each other's humor? Do you enjoy each other's like just company and vibe? And do you enjoy that? And if so, why do you have to write somebody off over something in the world that's divisive today? Like we had years where we disagreed on abortion, and we still found a way to go forward. We'd argue about it all the time, but those were usually, up until maybe the last decade, it was often productive arguments that I had gotten in. And now it's just, you start trying to fight for abortion and you get called a murderer. Like, okay, fine, call me a baby murderer, but what good is that doing? You're not changing my mind. You're just characterizing what you think my beliefs are instead of listening to what I actually believe. And that's not going to get us anywhere. We need to have the love and kindness for each other. We need to have a certain level of respect to go forward. We don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to fight about, well, we're going to continue to fight about the different ideas, but we don't have to do it in a way that's counterproductive. We should be able to disagree, and we used to be able to do that. So how do we get back to that? Well, like Gandhi, I think it was Gandhi that said, be the change you want to see in the world. I try to do my best to, be kind. But in today's world, I have run into so many people that are rude. I really just don't want to hang out with rude people. I don't want to be name called. I don't want like I have some of the craziest things that have gone on. I don't want to deal with people that are going to make my life harder. And so as a measure of self-love, yes, I cut those people out. Is that, I don't know, is that canceling people? Is that whatever? Well, I don't know. Like, but if you want to be in my life, you've got to stop abusing me. I've had like, I probably shouldn't tell many of the stories that I have because who knows how much of these people watch this stuff. Like I'm not looking to say bad things about people, but it's hard to talk about what I'm saying without being able to create examples. And I don't want to embarrass or out people that I've had my problems with. I don't want to cause people to feel bad, but I do want people to learn that We need to lead with love. We need to treat people the way they ask us to treat them. Like this is a thing I see in society all the time, where somebody will ask to be treated a certain way and other people will just outright refuse it. And then they wonder why those people don't want to hang out with them. Like we see this in the trans community, right? Like, or like just anybody who changes their pronouns, or anybody who even says something about pronouns now. I don't know. Some people think that that is some kind of evil, terrible thing, and they want to disrespect it. And that's fine. We don't generally think that words are a reason to like imprison people or punish them, but there are social consequences to our beliefs. If we aren't inclusive, if we don't want to treat people the way that they want to be treated, how do you think they're going to treat us back? Like, if you're a person that doesn't believe in using somebody's preferred pronouns, well, what do you think about their name? Like, so this is interesting. So this is a kind of a side tangent. And I'm not trying to say my struggle is that of people that actually are transgender. I'm not saying my struggle is identical, but I am saying there is something to be learned from comparisons. Like, my name is Michael. I usually introduce myself as Michael, and virtually everyone in my life calls me Mike. And to me, that's disrespectful. When I was a kid, my entire family called me Mikey just to enrage me, just because it used to bother me. Now I've learned that people are going to call me names, and that's a reflection of them. And so I kind of get over it. I don't get riled up, but I also don't want to be around mean-spirited people who are doing things for the sole purpose of riling me up. Why would you do that to somebody you love? Is it love when you call your 12-year-old cousin or nephew Mikey or Nicky or whatever nickname that they hate? Do you do that? Should you do that? Why do you do that? What benefit do you think you're giving that person being mean to them all the time? And that's how we treat each other. And we think it's funny, and we're just kidding. And we completely ignore the way that hurts people's feelings. We completely ignore the way that makes people feel disrespected. And then we tell them that's their problem, that they don't know how to handle being abused. That's what we do to people. We abuse them and then blame it on them. And that's why so many people don't rise to the level of people that I'm willing to be around. My family, and especially my family. I have family members that are probably like crazy personality disorders or something. Like my family's nuts. And I used to be pretty nuts too. So like, don't say that this is in isolation. I was raised by a bunch of fucking freakazoids, and I turned into a freakazoid. And I had to learn how to get past that. I had to learn to get past my rage. I had to learn that there are better ways of doing things than making people feel bad and abusing them. And what's interesting is it's a hard road to get out of that, because it's so effective to be mean to people. Because you can get people to do what you want by being mean to them for a time. There's limits, but if you're a little mean to somebody, you can usually kind of take control over them. And that's the problem, right? We realize that. And so rather than let the world play out, rather than rely on fairness and cooperation, we're trying to control each other. And we lose everything that love and unity has to offer by doing that. We lose the will to cooperate. We lose the will to grow together. We lose the desire to work as a team. We lose that community instinct. And I think that this is a real problem, especially since COVID, right? COVID isolated us, and we went alone, and being alone does weird things to us, right? It makes us afraid. And so we have these fears of people again, because we've spent so much time alone, and we have these hesitations, or we've even got we literally have everybody telling us who we should hate and want to deport and get rid of. And we have this told to us all the time that we're supposed to hate certain things. And that's crazy to me, because what good has ever come from preaching hate in the world? It almost always leads to some type of forcible control. Hatred and division and stomping out the human spirit, it's about weakening us. And usually that's because somebody's trying to take over. So are you going to let everybody weaken you? Are you going to let everybody turn you into the kind of person that doesn't have love and empathy for your fellow man? What happened to the days when we used to care about the homeless? What happened to the days that we used to take care of people so much better. I remember, years ago, it was just practice that somebody in the community of friends that I lived in, and somebody would get sick, or they'd have a child, or somebody had to be out of town for a couple weeks, so a parent was left alone for their kids because somebody was traveling for work. All those kinds of situations, we used to cook food and take that to people. I remember taking meals to just people that needed help. And I remember people bringing meals, to me when my family had different things going on. And I just don't see people behaving like that anymore. And part of it's probably because I moved out of the Midwest. There's a lot more, there's a lot more focus on trying to be community involved. You can get pretty ostracized if you are a loner in the Midwest. So I had to work real hard at not being too much of a loner, because loners were weird and mistreated in the Midwest, and at least where I come from. And now I'm in a city. Nobody gives a rat's ass about, anybody else. Nobody cares about, the neighbors or what's going on. In fact, I want to avoid most of my neighbors. Like, I can't even, I live at a place where I got a balcony that I could go and I could sit outside. Well, not a balcony, but like a patio I could go sit out. But every time I go sit out there, somebody comes along and accuses me of smoking. I don't smoke. Now, I smoke weed, don't get me wrong, but I'm not, that's not what I'm doing out there, because there's just better ways of dealing with that than puffing in a way that's going to go in somebody else's window. See, that's the kind of courtesy I'm talking about. I have that courtesy, but then people come out and they just yell at me because I'm sitting on my porch. So I can't go sit on my porch and just enjoy this beautiful courtyard I have out behind my apartment, because people are just going to come up and yell at me. Or I've been accused of smoking so many times, and then I've gone out there and I've started recording when I gone out there just to record this crazy psycho that comes up and, yells at me for I'm not even smoking, and they're yelling at me. And it's the weirdest thing. And they aren't interested in, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here. And so I really have no choice but to just get up and go inside, because the fucking psychos won't leave me alone. Why do we need that? Why does somebody have to be on this war path trying to go and find somebody? Now, I happen to know 3 of my other neighbors are smokers, but I'm the one that has to fucking get yelled at for it. So I've got a back patio that I can't use. I don't want to go outside because people are just going to yell at me. It's hard living with people that literally just want to control everything all the time. And it's exhausting. And I don't really know what to do about that. All I know is I do my best to be a better person. I don't try to be mean to people, but I do avoid them if they mistreat me, or I don't know. And then we got another problem. People not understanding the limits to kindness, because sometimes people will do something that they believe is kind, and they don't understand how it impacts the person that they're doing it to. For example, I'm the kind of person that I literally hate gifts. I literally will probably cut you out of my life for giving me gifts after I warn you. And the reason for that is because as a child, I was abused with gifts. One of the things that my stepmom did was just torture me relentlessly with gifts. And the problem is how do you fight that? Because when you're a 12-year-old kid and you get given something, if you're mad about it, if you react to that negatively in any way, you're an ungrateful little shit and you're never getting a gift again. Well, except I would do that and I'd say, thank you, don't give me any more gifts. And then she'd continue to give me gifts. I've been belted for not wanting to participate in Christmas before. I just wanted to stay in my room and avoid all Christmas, take my gifts back. I don't want anything. And I've been belted to go and participate for that. That's happened to me. And so when I tell people I do not want gifts and I do not like surprises, they have no idea how much I mean that. I will cut you out of my life over this. I'm not taking abuse from people anymore. And that's a way that I was abused. And if you don't take me seriously in telling you how I want to be treated, you don't deserve to be in my life, because you're treating me the way you want to be treated. But you don't realize that that's causing ongoing abuse for me. And when I've told you I don't want these things, when I've told you to stop giving me gifts and you continue doing it, It's just a direct insult. You might as well be punching me in the face. I'd probably be more likely to keep you in my life over striking me than giving me a gift. That's how big of a deal this is to me. And a lot of people really like to disrespect that. A lot of people will go and give me gifts. Now, I'm not going to pretend that they aren't good intention. I'm sure some of them are like my stepmom. They are like, this is a narcissistic behavior. Like if you look up narcissists and how they use gift giving as a weapon, this is exactly what I'm talking about, is because it's such a good weapon. Because again, you can't be mad about it. Well, because now you're an ungrateful shit. And no matter what, they're going to go tell the story. And well, what do you mean? They gave you a nice gift. Why didn't you just appreciate it? Well, because you don't understand the problems that go with it. And so, like when I was a kid, it wasn't just that I got belted to participate. It's that just about every time I got a gift, it was literally the thing that was at the top of my stepbrother's wish list. And he was a few years younger than me. A few years, 11, 12 years old is everything, right? Like an 11-year-old isn't interested in what 8-year-olds play with anymore. It's just not the way it is. And so I'd get the gifts that my brother wanted. And I couldn't complain because, well, I got a nice gift. And if I complained, well, I'd probably get in trouble or extra chores or something. Or sometimes it'd be something like belting, but that was usually to force compliance rather than punish. Anyway, it was weird. And so part of love and kindness is treating people the way they ask to be treated, not the way you want to treat them, not doing what you think is the nice or kind thing. Because that person may have problems with that. Like there are people like I've been like, I like one of the reasons I like cooking is because of the way I was abused with food. This was another way I was abused. I was constantly, like tortured with food. Like when I was growing up, mushrooms were a terrible thing. I hated mushrooms. And my stepmom would just literally just try to put mushrooms in everything and then tell me that I couldn't taste them, like, and call me a liar. Like she's blended them up and mixed them into like, I guess pasta sauce, and I could still taste it. I still refused to eat it. And then she'd come and yell at me the other day saying, there's no way you could have tasted that. I blended that all up into a paste. There's no taste in mushrooms. And I don't really care what she says. I can taste mushrooms. And I can taste them when they're there. And so I was abused. So I would literally she'd make these sauces or whatever that had all this mushrooms in it. And then when I would try to eat like just plain noodles, she'd make me eat sauce. She'd literally spoon the sauce onto my shit herself. I couldn't just have like butter and noodles because I don't know, control, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why people do this to each other. And so this is one of the reasons I like to cook, is because I'm afraid of what other people are going to do to me. It's kind of an irrational fear, because most of the time when other people cook, it's great and it's wonderful, and they'll even ask me if I have any food preferences, and so I can opt out of mushrooms, and most people will treat me with that dignity and respect. Or if I ask them for an ingredients list, they'll just tell me what's in there instead of like mincing up shit that I don't like and trying to trick me. But I was abused that way for so long that you have to be careful how you offer me food, because it will be a problem. And so this is another aspect of kindness that we need. It's more than just kindness. It's like love and empathy, right? It's understanding to the best of your ability what other people want and what they need, and actually trying to be there for them instead of trying to feel good because you did what you thought was nice. Like if you're treating people in a way that is designed to make you feel good, are you being kind? Kindness is acting in a way designed to make the other person feel good. There is a difference. It's subtle, but it's there. And I would much rather treat somebody the way they want to be treated, because I don't think people want to be treated the way that I do. I think people like gifts. I don't. I think people like when other people make food for them. I don't. Now, the food isn't like the same level of the gift. The food, we can talk that through, but gifts isn't very negotiable with me. I don't want to give gifts. I don't want to get gifts, and I want people that know me to understand and respect that. And if they can't, all I'm going to do is face the feelings of abuse. I'm going to feel like that person's trying to control me, and I'm just naturally not going to be able to manage the energy levels to tolerate that. And so anyway, I don't know what the solutions are. All I know is that I have to do better than everybody else if I want to make a change. I have to talk about how taking the higher road is better. I have to be the one to, I don't know. I guess it gets to a point to where it gets to a point where you start wondering which is worse, the insanity of being around people who want to abuse you constantly, or the loneliness of actually understanding that they're just, it's so hard to find people that are genuinely kind and good. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have a slanted view. Maybe I've been too much of an asshole for too long and all I can see is the assholes. Maybe all the nice people don't want to hang out with me anymore. I don't know. I think it's more that I don't go outside, because usually when I talk to somebody, we get along. I have a good time. Usually when I hang out with most people, like it's not like I can't get along. I just, once it starts turning into abuse, once it starts turning into expectations, once it starts turning into, I have to do everything your way, and once it starts turning into, you're going to behave however you want to behave without any respect or thought to how that makes me feel. And I don't know, I guess it gets lonely here, trying to want to put kindness in the world, but not finding anybody worthy to invest that kindness in. What do you do with that? I don't know. I think we could go a long way to making the world a better place if we could all do a little more to try to empathize and understand each other rather than criticize. Rather than blame somebody for their circumstances, understand the world's complicated and not everybody is in the circumstances they're in because of their fault. Lots of people have been abused into terrible mindsets, just like I've been describing. People have these problems that almost seem antisocial because, well, I've been abused with giving gifts, so I don't want to participate in your gift exchange. I don't want to do any of that. And I think that's that way for a lot of people. And I think understanding that's an important first step to being a better person. I think understanding that most people are really just trying to do the best that they can. People that are mean probably aren't realizing that they're being mean. They're just trying to get through life. Entitled people don't understand how entitled they are. You can show them the video of like their tirades and shit, and they'll still justify their actions with, well, yeah, but I was wronged. Well, that doesn't give you the right to like start like throwing rocks at people or whatever the fuck these crazy people are doing these days. And we've just seemed to have lost that sense of civility, that sense of connection, that thing that, I don't know. Maybe it's just an idealized thing from nostalgic past. Maybe I have memories that are skewed for some reason. Maybe I have some sample size that's different, but I think we could go a long way to making the world a better place if we would all just do better to understand the condition each other is in and do our best to treat people with the love and respect that they deserve, which includes looking at it from their perspective and not just our own. Anyway, I guess I feel like I've been rambling for a bit, and I don't know that it's getting any more useful or helpful. So with that, be well.